You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodriguez for Black and White Sports. Well, we're going to talk about Brittney Griner and my favorite boxer of all time. Not even that close. Roy Jones Jr. Boy, he was my dad's favorite boxer, too. We used to watch him a lot in the 90s, early 2000s. HBO used to have a boxing show that was on, and Roy Jones was on there quite a bit back in the day. Of course, a dominant light heavyweight from those days. Still boxes every now and then. Took on Mike Tyson maybe 18 months ago, something like that. Well, a lot of people don't realize this. Roy Jones Jr. is pretty tight with Putin. That's right. He is actually a Russian citizen. He's got dual citizenship with the U.S. and Russia, much like Steven Seagal, I think. So anyway, he has come out and he believes that maybe he has the connections to bring home WNBA player Brittney Griner. And he's going to try to use those connections to bring her home. Now, there's a part of this story that I can tell you I do not agree with from Roy Jones' side. And I'm going to remain steady on that. I just do not understand the idea of making the particular swap that keeps coming up in regards to Brittney Griner. This is Fox News. Brittney Griner's detention. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. using Russian connections to help the WNBA star return to the U.S. WNBA star has a fellow superstar athlete in her corner as he fights to return her home to the United States. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. is offering up his connections in Russia to help the American athlete after she was arrested at an airport near Moscow in February on charges of possession and transportation of cannabis. She's been detained there ever since. Jones, considered by many to be one of the greatest boxers of all time with an illustrious career spanning 30 years, became aware of Griner's predicament and decided he might be able to help. Quote, first, she's an athlete. I have ties with Russia because of my athleticism and my athletic career, Jones told Fox News Digital. Quote, it's nothing political, it's all about sports. Jones explained that back in the height of his boxing career, there were only 2 or 3 TV channels in Russia, and one of those channels was boxing. He said boxing became a very popular sport in the country as a result, and he was asked to train boxers, quote, to help them up their game. Jones, 53, is a dual U.S. and Russian citizen. He is operating a gym in Moscow where he trained young boxers before Russia's war with the Ukraine forced him to shutter his operation. He hopes to someday return to continue his work with inspiring fighters. Quote, my athletic affiliations can help rectify the situation. Why wouldn't I try, he said, of Griner's situation. So I thought about it for a little while, and one night I was sleeping and it hit me up. What if it was my daughter stuck in that foreign country? They don't speak no English, and she doesn't speak the language that they speak. It's bad enough being incarcerated, but what if you're incarcerated in a foreign land where they don't speak your language? You know how bad that is, question mark? So that thought alone terrified me. Jones reached out to his lawyer to get in contact with the White House. He also was connected with a friend who knows people well connected in Russian politics. Jones said his contact was able to reach the Russian authorities, who expressed willingness to conduct a prisoner swap with the U.S. Jones said the process was slow-moving and has since stalled. He's hoping to continue to help facilitate future communication or negotiation as much as able. Russian news media has repeatedly suggested that Griner could be swapped for Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout, otherwise known as the Merchant of Death, or Lord of War. Bout is serving a 25-year sentence on conviction of conspiracy to kill U.S. citizens and providing aid to a terrorist organization. I've been very vocal, and that's what I was going to touch on. about the fact that I don't believe we should do that swap. Okay, we should not give up somebody this notorious, this dangerous, for a basketball player. I mean, that's just the way it is. But U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken would not disclose the U.S. plans to bring Griner home when asked if a swap was being considered. Jones is still hopeful that Griner will be able to return home safely. Quote, I'm not a politician. I don't do that at all. But if I can get her home, they say they're willing to do a prisoner swap. Somebody here is willing to do that, then let's make it happen. He continued, I would feel bad sitting there comfortable at night knowing she's in that country in prison and I have citizenship in that country. I am not trying to do nothing to help. That would be bad on my part. Jones said he was unable to reach Griner or her family, but he's open and willing to communicate should they reach out. This is what I do. God bless me with boxing, so I'm trying to pass my blessing down to other people because that's what God gave me. The Mercury Center's arrest happened less than a week before Russia invaded the Ukraine. Griner, Olympic gold medalist, has been playing overseas during the league's offseason to make money. She's been playing basketball in Russia for the past 7 years, okay? And the U.S., it goes on to talk about that she's facing up to 10 years in prison. And, of course, that she was detained. The U.S. has considered her wrongfully detained. I myself dispute that wording. I don't understand that. If she really did break Russian law, how is she wrongfully detained? So that's another issue for another day. I've been very vocal about that. You know, it is what it is. Now, the other thing I always want to bring up, okay, let's say this was Curt Schilling, all right? Curt Schilling, we know, legendary Major League Baseball player. He should have been put in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame a long time ago. The liberal sports writers did not want to put him in because he's made some comments that they deemed to be offensive a few years ago. Okay, he has since said, to hell with y'all, I don't want to even go in. All right, I hope he still gets in somehow. All right, he's definitely worthy. But the point is, Curt Schilling is a very outspoken conservative. Brittney Griner was a very outspoken social justice warrior that was very much in support of leftist radical politics, okay? Things like the BLM and all of that in her political ideological feelings, right? It makes me wonder, if this was Curt Schilling, would anybody be saying anything outside of us, right? But us, Sports Wars Outkicks, somebody like that, Breitbart. But outside of us, would anybody be saying anything? This is getting a lot of mainstream media coverage. This is obviously getting a lot of response from the Biden administration. A lot of bipartisan politicians are trying to make a name off of this. But I just wonder, if this was Curt Schilling, would they be doing a damn thing? They would be glad he was locked up over there, and he would be screwed. Let's be honest. He would be screwed until there was another Republican in the White House. That is a fact right now. And I don't love that, okay? I don't love the fact that this is blatantly, so many people are wound up over this because of her politics. And yeah, that's part of it, okay? In other words, she's turned into a social justice crusade herself, all right? So, look, I've got no problems with Roy Jones trying to get involved in this if he wants to, if he feels like, you know, he can use. I mean, of all the people that have tried to get involved with this, he's the one that sounds like he might have the most actual connections to get something done, being a Russian citizen and a U.S. citizen, all right? And if he feels like he can do something to help her, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. It's his choice. I'm not going to hate on him for it, but at the same time, if she broke Russian law, I'm still trying to figure out why this should be such a big priority with everybody and not a chance in hell should we swap her for that damn arms dealer. No way. Sorry. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. I just wanted to point that out, too. That if this was a different athlete or a different former athlete, whatever, would this be getting the same play? I think not. I'm just saying. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.